YouTube. As always, I am Joey, or Hopeless Effects, and you're tuning into my morning live stream. Morning live stream, morning vlog, morning video journal, many things to call it. Yeah. Let's see. As always, starting with the news in the morning, seeing what we have today. Let's see actually. Let's set this back to yesterday. Right. Oh, we had an Australian cash rate decision that was better than expected. Let's see how that played out. I see. Yeah, they're all the Australian dollar pairs are quite high. GBPAUD quite down. Okay. Not too surprising there, I suppose. Anyways, flipping back, let's see what we have today. We have some more Australian news, GDP. Again, we have the Canadian rate, overnight rate, some USD news, and then on Friday, some Canadian news. So not too much, but it's a big one. The cash rates. Anyways, that's it for the news for the week. Let's get into the charts. As always, start with some trades that we're in. So this is the only trade we're in right now, GBPCHF. This is the sort of market structure makeup of the entry. So let's get into the 4 hour so you can see the full thing. We got lower highs all the way down, equal lows more or less, and as price came up to this previous level, we had some trendline resistance as well as some standard resistance at this level, and so figuring good opportunity to get into a short, aiming for a 3-to-1. Stop was put above these highs, so we're above the highs here, and here, and that was about 100 pips, and we're aiming for a 300 pip take profit down here. A lot of people are big fans of taking profit along the way. I don't do that. I either aim for strictly 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, maybe even 4-to-1, and I don't take profits out. Yeah. We'll review why in maybe another episode, a different video that I'll upload at another time. Gonna have some tea this morning. That's good. Alright, so that's the only trade we're in at the moment. Let's start scanning the market. So let's see what's available. So getting into AUDCAD. Let's see. Still on this downtrend. Prices come up to this previous level of support. I wouldn't say that's a good enough entry signal. Could even go for a possible buy, as if we go into the lower time frame, I'm sure this could be a break and retest towards this higher level. So we go in the lower time frame. I mean, on the higher time frame, we're looking at a sell at some point, right? We're on this descending price action. However, this is a pretty bullish price action move, and I could definitely see price coming down to this 0.89 level and continuing higher. So we're just gonna keep our eye on that. Maybe even a little higher, like here. There we go. Slightly higher than 0.8905, something like that, and potentially go for a buy up. So we'll pop a little alert here. And we'll move right along. AUDCHF, 5 minute, again, looks like he's getting into some sort of resistance level. Yeah, previous support turned resistance multiple times. However, because of this triple bottom sort of nature and the fact that all these previous levels were broken, I wouldn't necessarily consider this a very strong sell signal. So we're just going to monitor and move along. AUDJPY. It's kind of unfortunate. AUDJPY was a trade we had taken last week. We had gotten stopped out. Stops were just a little too tight. Obviously, he's continuing to roll a little higher. He's reaching this previous level of resistance here. Again, wouldn't get it into a sell just yet. Doesn't necessarily mean just because he's at these highs he's gonna all of a sudden turn back around. There is quite a bit of movement to the downside. You've got all this opportunity to play with sells, but I wouldn't necessarily think it's the best idea. 5 minute, not seeing much here on the lower time frame. AUDNZD continues to stay quite strong at this level. On this lower time frame, we're still in this ascending channel. Kind of nice little breakout here with the news. On the hourly, price is continuing higher towards these highs. Yeah, definitely got some good bullish momentum here. Let's see on the daily. You can see they really like to keep price pretty controlled between these two levels. So between about parity to 1.14, there's a lot of control to keep price balanced. And I can imagine they're probably each other's biggest trading partners. I don't know that for sure. It could be full of shit, but they're probably each other's strong trading partners, so it's important to keep price regulated so that goods and services maintain good pricing levels. Anywho, look at me pretending like I'm a fundamental trader. Moving right along, AUDUSD broke out of this level. Also a bit of an L. We got into a sell down here last week. And obviously price ended up breaking up and continuing higher. CADCHF. Sorry, not much on the 5 or the hourly for audio. CADCHF, we had these levels, price broke down at this level of resistance. Didn't necessarily break this support though. Had it broken the support, I'd be probably keen to see if there would have been like a head and shoulders pattern for it to come down, but it did not happen. But it did break the structure enough for me not to be super keen about a buy. Interesting. CADJPY in this nice ascending channel as we work towards these highs. Again, if price were to come up to these highs real quick, I could possibly see myself getting into a sell, but that could happen with news. So maybe the interest rate decision tomorrow or on Friday, the employment numbers. Price could shoot up momentarily before rejecting back down. We'll see. Otherwise, we've got some nice support down here. Could be potential buy with this market level support plus trend line. But again, would want to compare those values with the other yen pairs. As we talked about at the end of yesterday's episode, the importance of correlated pairs and trying to the option of buying at the best price. So just quickly, if you're trading all the yen pairs like I do, and you know they're all bullish, then you get the pick of the litter for best price action. You're not stuck with, say, a lot of people buy or trade GJ, and so they're more or less stuck with how GJ is moving, and they have to fit they not have to, but sometimes will fit their strategy to GJ instead of being able to check all 6 yen pairs and be able to say, well, my strategy doesn't fit these 3, but it fits these other 3. Which of these other 3 is probably going to be the strongest? Which one is the most likely to give me the wins? And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. Anywho, Euro AUD, nice break here. At this previous low, wouldn't necessarily think that's a great opportunity just for a bounce. Okay, I'd see myself getting into a sell if price comes up here. So we put an alarm, we throw a pink on it. Was it, yeah, pink on AUDCAD and Euro AUD. EURCAD. Again, continuing trend down. We've got this level of support, turn resistance here. I don't expect price to get there anytime soon, and if it did, it would have to break the trend to get there. So we'll probably just leave this guy. EURCHF. Price is coming down pretty well. Let's get rid of these guys, see if we can redraw them. If they come back in the same location, that's a good sign. Maybe go on the 4-hour to give ourselves a bit more idea. So we do have these 2 levels here. It's a relatively significant level. It spans pretty well. But we don't really have lower lows. Like, I wouldn't necessarily consider that much of a lower low versus that. I would consider that much of an equal low. So we really need price to break below this level 968 and then come back up and retest here at 9.7, and then we'll look for getting to a sell. So that would look something like simply put, something like that. Anywho, otherwise we're just moving right along, just plugging away. EUROJ on the hourly. This market structure, this baby market structure got broken. We have these lower highs. We have these equal lows down here. So, since most of the euro pairs are pretty bullish, I think what we're going to look for is some sort of break and retest. Whoops. With the idea that we could get into a buy here. Something like that. But that might not happen until the start of next week. So we're just gonna let that be. Or it might break down and go down, but we're just because of the bullish price action of the yen so far, or well, the bearish price action of the yen, the bullish price action of everything related to it, we're not really looking for anything that's not a buy. EURGBP, this is one of the winners from last week. We took a 2-to-1 and this ended up being a 5-to-1 right here. So took the sell here, price hit our profit as price went down here and then continued on down. We're still looking for sells. If price can come up here, we'd probably try to get into a sell if price broke though. So if price continues up towards this level, creating higher highs and higher lows, that would be considered short-term bullish price action, and so we don't want to get into the trade. We would want price to come up here, break a recent low, like a significant low, come back up, and then on the way back down we get into a sell. EURNZD, you could be looking to get into a buy if you see it rejecting at this 1.75 level to go a little higher, but I'm not super keen on the hourly or the 5-minute here. Yeah, I'm just gonna move right along. EUROU, similarly, not super keen on this price action. Made this nice big move up, and now we are at the same level of market structure. So we are just going to move along. GBPAUD, this nice rejection at 1.19, and we're already at 1.86. It's a lot of pips in a short amount of time. Anywho, nothing matches my sort of style of trading on this chart. Not really enjoying the price action of how it looks right now, so we'll wait for things to form. GBPCAD, again, nice rejection here. We're headed down towards this support level. Not a big fan of the price action. GCHF, that's the trade we're in, so we don't really need to overanalyze it again. GJ, interesting. Could have been, it's tough, because in a sense this could be a buy. Could have been a buy down here at 2 o'clock this morning, which I was soundly asleep for. You do have this most recent highs. He did break the highs, so this is more of an equal low, but you're still maintaining support at this trend line. You have some nice support turned, or resistance turned support here. But he does sort of look like he's fading a bit. Either way, I wouldn't want to get into the trade now. I feel like I'd like to get into the trade right at the level. So, just gonna say good morning to my dog. Good morning. Alright, she got some good scritches. I think she wants some more. Let's see if I can. Now she's gonna go lie on the sofa. Okay, so yeah, GJ, analyzed, GBPNZD. Pretty interesting bullish price action. On the 5-minute, we've got this sort of pyramid structure. Nice steady up, nice steady down. Right is also quite typically price controlled, so lots of opportunity to go back to the downside, down to 1.88. I think Well, if we look at typically what happens, you get a pump up, price down, price up, and then precipitous fall down. Price up, down. Lots of whatever this is, but this was COVID, so that makes sense. Price up, price down. Price up, down, second wave, and then precipitously down. Lots over during the... I gotta check this because I'm pretty sure that this was a 2015 financial crisis, which drastically affected prices, but I don't know if I know that for sure. Price up, price down, price up, price down, broke. Yeah. We definitely want to try to get in on this, but we don't just want to assume that this is the top. This could be another leg up. There could be a smaller leg up, price down. So ideally, price come back up, and then as it comes back down, we'll get in on the sell down here. Something like that. That's kind of the play for this guy, I think. But for now, we just kind of leave him. GU, definitely don't want to get into this guy. Too much crazy market structure. He is sitting higher lows though, so that's kind of bullish signaling. But the market structure is a little crazy right now, so we'll just move right along. NZDCAD. He's sort of at the bottom of this trend line. There's a little bit of support here. Not a very strong level of support. Not totally sure if price is gonna go a little lower, or if this is a bit of a head and shoulders. If we got a shoulder, head, shoulder, and price is gonna continue up. For now, we're just gonna monitor. We're not doing anything. NZDCHF. Similarly, price is just in this sideways price action. Slightly come up, but just monitoring. NZDJPY, not much here either. Just gonna monitor. NU. Similar to AUD, you could assemble some sort of price action higher. We did break this previous level. We are back above this level of support. We have created sort of a low, high, higher low, and we'll see where these prices go from here. UCAD, that's obviously not a valid trend line anymore. Looks like price is trading in this range. Got a pretty good range here between these two price points. So not much of a trending market yet. We'll see. This will probably change significantly over the next couple of days as news releases, like the interest rate decision and the unemployment numbers are released. USDC. Oof. Nice rejection down and continue higher. Again, I think as price came down here yesterday, we're not super keen about getting in just because it was a lower high, so we'll see how this works out, but I'd rather just monitor it than jump into a trade willy-nilly. We've got these lower highs, these either higher or equal lows, so a bit of a pennant formation. We'll probably wait for a breakout of the pennant before we look to get into a play. Still pretty bullish on it, but you never know. UJ. pretty similarly. We've got these lower highs. We're in this sort of trend line breakout pennant formation. So we're kind of waiting for a breakout of these two lines before we make our decision about where we want to enter. US 30. Not much here. Probably looking for a buy. Both US 100 and US 500 are very bullish. And lastly, gold. Price is slowly meandering to this trend line. Honestly, not sure what to make of gold right now. Not really trending, just reacting a lot to the different news. Lots of price swings down and up. You can see, just based on what it looks like in this small window, that price could break below 1940 and continue lower. But that, I think, is going to be it for the day. So just to review, the only trades we're looking at getting in is a very short-term 5-minute Euro AUD trade, possibly, and as well as a very short-term 5-minute AUDCAD trade. So they're probably pretty correlated, I would guess. As this guy is going to go up, AUDCAD is going to go down. So we can either double our risk, or if one looks a little better than the other, we can go with that one. That's it for the analysis. The education for the day is about changing habits in Forex trading, or trading in general. So I've been listening to a podcast recently. It's Think Profit podcast on Spotify. Check them out. They're got some good, very quick bite-sized videos. They're usually between 7 and 12 minutes. The first half got uploaded. You can tell they're uploaded from YouTube because the first half of the content all stop at 7 minutes, no matter whether the episode actually is shorter than 7 minutes or longer. So that's kind of frustrating, but still get some good value from their content. And what a lot of people do is tell them, they'll have this question, something like, hey guys, I struggle with stop losses, or hey guys, I struggle with taking profits too soon. Hey guys, I struggle with this. And like, what are ways that I can stop struggling with this? So like myself, I've always struggled with chasing, FOMO, taking profits too early. Pretty much any sort of thing you can struggle with in trading, I've struggled with. As I imagine everybody else has, and everybody struggles to a different degree. Some people struggle a lot worse, some people struggle a lot less. What's the only two recommendations I can make around that are, one, it'll just take time. Habits don't form overnight. You have to repeatedly work at that habit every day. And so you're not just gonna, if your issue is that you take profits too soon and you let your winners run, you're not going to change that overnight. No one's going to give you some magic formula for you to be like, oh wow, perfect, like, thanks for telling me that. Now I will always let my profits run and cut my stops early. It's just not going to happen. You're just going to have to repeatedly screw up multiple times before you more or less get fed up at yourself and start following some new rule set. And it'll happen slowly. It's not like a light switch. You don't just all of a sudden start taking your profits a lot slower, or you don't just all of a sudden start taking your profits on all your trades. What you'll do is you'll let your profits run on every 5th trade, and you'll let your stop loss be pushed on a few less trades and a few less trades. And this could take weeks, this could take months, this could take years. You'll eventually get it there, but you'll just have to rewrite circuits in your brain that facilitate this false belief that I need to take my profits now and I need to let my losers run, because what if? And then the only other advice I could have is, if you have data if you have cold hard data on your trading that tracks what happens, so what I call hypothetical trading data, that's probably your best bet to understand what would happen. So like, trading is a longevity game. Everybody wants to get rich quick, and so you want to take your profits quick because that means you made your money, and you want to let your losers ride, because if your losers ride, then you don't lose money. I mean, you lose money in the end, you lose a lot more money, but in that exact moment, you don't lose any money. And so if you knew, if some magical genie saw, like, if you saw some magical genie and you could look into the future and he said, hey, these are your two futures right now. This is you in a year's time following your trading plan, and you're, I don't know, a millionaire. And then this is you in a year's time doing exactly what you're doing, and it's just you as you are now, no change. You would probably start sticking to your trading plan, because a magical genie showed you this future in which you stuck to your trading plan and became a millionaire. And the closest thing you can have to that, since we don't have magical genies, is data and journaling. You know, if you were to journal all your trades for a year, and you have the actual outcome of that, and then you have some hypothetical outcome of like, okay, well, if this trade, I waited for it to hit my 2-hour take profit before I took profit, instead of taking it at a half hour, and I did that repeatedly for all 100 trades that I took, where would my R profit be? Or where would my total profit be? It would probably be better than what you get managing your risk or taking your profits early. And if you can see that on a paper or on an Excel spreadsheet, then you're more likely to remember that and think about it next time you're about to take your profits early or move your stop loss. So yeah, hypothetical trading is probably one of the best tool sets you can use, and it is literally just recording hypothetical stop losses and hypothetical take profits over long trades. And these have to be realistic. Like, it's not like you're not changing your stop loss, you're not changing your entry. I mean, you could be changing your stop loss, but you're keeping it very rigid between all your trades. It's not like you're changing your stop loss on one trade and you're keeping it on another one. You have to be very strict and stringent with your rules for this. So for example, all my trading, what I do for hypothetical trading is I look at the R potential up to 5 for every trade I take. So pretty much every trade I take, I try to aim for 2R. But hypothetically, what if I aim for 3R? What if I aim for 4R? And what if I aim for 5R? Which one, over a course of 20 trades, 40 trades, 50 trades, 100 trades, actually gives me the most return? And shockingly enough, and this hurts, but I don't have enough data to prove this, it's that my 5R trades actually make me more money. And that's because once something goes about 2R in my favor, it's incredibly likely to go to at least 5R. The amount of times my trades have gone to 3R and 4R and then back to stop loss is actually pretty small. So usually when I get taken out early. It's like I get into a trade and it goes to my stop loss. However, if I get into a trade and it starts to go towards 2R, there's a very significant chance it's actually going to hit 5R. And I wouldn't know that unless I was hypothetically trading. So anyways, that's my sort of takeaway. Start hypothetical trades, hypothetical risk scenarios, hypothetical entries, journal. Just try to journal a little bit more with intent. That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have some luck in the trades today, and I will be back tomorrow. Peace.